G'day everyone, welcome back to another video. It's been a little while, I've been pretty busy, we've been moving house and I'm not gonna lie, I've just been pretty slack. But today I'm gonna show you around how we set up the patrol for touring and camping. I've been getting a heap of questions about it, so let's hope this answers a few of them. It's a reasonably basic setup, but it's got a few tricks up its sleeve. So let's get into it. I'll start from the top and work my way down. Everything up there is mounted to a generic steel flat rack. I've got the iCamper up top. I won't say much more about that because I've already done a pretty in-depth video about it, so I'll leave a link to that up here. I've got a King's 2.5 by 2.5 meter awning. I've actually got rid of the logo using some black fabric spray paint. Nothing wrong with the brand, just much prefer the black look. The logo's a bit obnoxious. So up front it gets a bit more interesting. About a year ago we bought a 250 watt solar panel. We thought, great, it's going to charge up the second battery, no worries. Got it in the mail. And the thing was huge. We're like, where are we going to put this in the car? So this is my solution. Underneath the roof rack, there's a spring-loaded pin on this side that I pull and it releases it. And the pin locks back into place and holds it out. So that's probably a pretty good interlude as to what I've got under the hood. Just got a pretty basic dual battery setup. The main cranking battery here to a isolator over the back, which once that battery is over its necessary charge, it sends power to my 130 amp hour AMG deep cycle battery. It's got a big fuse on it to protect the system. And if I'm trying to charge off the solar, I've just got this cable here with a few clamps. Chuck them on, and I've got a meter here that's going to tell me how much ampage is coming from the solar panel into the batteries, and also how much voltage the battery has, which is really handy. Plug that into the Anderson port that's up here, and that's pretty much it as far as solar and batteries go. A little bit of a follow-on from the battery setup is an inverter that I've got here underneath the passenger seat, and that can be controlled by this remote in the center console. On the other side of the car, I have installed a fire extinguisher just inside the driver's door. Fits nice and snug. One of my mates said you can fix most things on a car, but fire damage isn't one of them. I think that's pretty true, so better be safe than sorry. Now over to the back seats, we've got a bit of a setup going in here. So we've basically got two 60-litre tubs for clothing. We've got the gas bottle down here for the stove, which I'll show you in a minute. Then in this middle tub, it's sort of the odds and ends tub. Got a power lead, got our first aid kit. It's also where I keep my tools. So we've got the chainsaw, rattle gun, and yeah, a ton of these Makita batteries to power the lot. Behind that, we've got the table and the chairs, so sort of acts as a barrier to stop anything from the back coming forward. Now making our way to the back. Now there's quite an obvious gap in our setup here. We actually haven't got around to buying our own fridge, and we usually steal mum and dad's old Engel, but they're off having a great time in Tassie at the moment with the trip and they're using it, so that's what's normally there. Then our stove is usually strapped to the side of the fridge. This bag here is our food bag, pretty obvious, put our food in it. And up the front we have all our cutlery. Usually on this side we have a sponge and detergent, and the other side we have some herbs and spices and things. Next to it we've got the water tank. It's got a hose attached to it with a tap, so it's all just gravity fed, and there you go, you've got running water. Last but not least, over the back here we've got a tub full of all of our cooking essentials. Got the fry pan, got a big expandable tub to do the dishes in, chopping board, plates, cups, all the usual. And before I show you in the drawers, we've got a couple of 12-volt ports here that I've got running off the second battery. Plug the fridge, lights, whatever we need into these. Now for the drawers. Pretty much what I've got in these is what I keep in the car all the time. So on the right side is pretty much everything to do with the car. I've got the tool bag, socket set, spanner set, fluids, coolant and oil back there you can't see. I've got a tree protector and also a winch dampener in there. For this left side, got the little butane cooker as a backup to the main cooker. also got this Kinchrome toolbox that just has all sorts of odds and ends, nuts, bolts, solder, all sorts of electrical fittings, just anything that might get you out of trouble. What else have I got? Got the compressor hose and the compressor there. This is sort of my electricals box. It's got that cable that you saw that connects the solar panel, LED strip lighting. This is also another lantern that Tia likes. Got some little seats. I've also got a snatch strap and a pulley block. That is the contents of that drawer. Altogether, I'm pretty happy with the setup. It served us pretty well. Other than the fridge, everything else is pretty low, so I can generally see out of my rear window, which is nice to have that vision. I think the only thing I'm looking to do on the car anytime soon is put a rear bar on it to get that big spare wheel off the door, and maybe fit the high lift jack and a few other things that are just in the car that don't need to be. That pretty much sums up the rig. I hope that answers a few of your questions. Anyway, let me know in the comments, have I done a good job of setting it up? Is there something you'd change? Or am I just missing some gadget out there altogether? But that's it from me this time. I'll catch you in the next video.